relaunching new curriculum ini, kami SNL1 percaya dunia yang terus bertumbuh, kami juga harus terus bertumbuh di SNL1. Kami berusaha memberikan yang terbaik dan kami juga berusaha untuk terus evaluasi. Jadi kurikulum yang kami buat ini bukan hanya satu sisi untuk SNL1, tapi kami juga mendengar dari sisi orang tua. Nah, nanti di sini dari kelas apprentice, junior, dan youth program ini kita akan buatnya sedikit spoiler untuk parents, itu bahkan kita ada masuk tentang gamifications. Jadi bagaimana anak-anak sekarang bisa menarik mereka belajar untuk melihat value-value di dalam diri mereka, tapi tetap ada bentuk permainannya. Biar mereka merasa ada yang lebih fun, lebih challenging. Oke, nanti akan ada jadwalnya, nanti mohon dipantengin dan sarankan diri Anda untuk relaunching new curriculum. Hal ketiga, saya secara pribadi ingin mengundang orang tua untuk hadir di acara SNL1 Award tanggal 12 April 2026 nanti. Siapa yang di sini sudah pernah hadir di acara SNL1 Award? Mama ya. Oh, it's your Victoria. Nah, oke. Biasanya dia sama Daddy-nya, kadang-kadang Victoria kemarin dia lomba sama Daddy, sih. Oke, jadi saya ingat sama papanya, karena biasa kadang sama papanya datang ya. Oke, jadi mungkin saya sedikit gambaran cerita tentang satu parents yang pernah datang ke SNL1 Award. SNL1 selalu percaya pertumbuhan anak-anak itu semua progres dan prosesnya berbeda-beda. Apabila hari ini saya ketemu dengan Victoria, dengan yang pertama kali, it might be not the same Victoria yang hari ini. Saya tidak menamakan kami menjanjikan anak-anak pasti bisa lebih baik. Kami yang percaya adalah apabila mereka dipercayakan kepada kami, setidaknya mereka akan bertumbuh lebih baik dibandingkan mereka pertama kali datang. Jangan dibandingkan dengan orang lain, tapi dibandingkan pertama kali dia hadir di sini. Itu hal yang mungkin nanti kepada orang tua bisa melihat anak-anak yang nanti level general level itu mereka sudah sampai harus deliver di training 10 to 15 minutes. 10 sampai 15 menit mereka harus membawakan sebuah topik untuk bisa train kepada peserta. Nah, ketika kami melihat perkembangan anak-anak ini progres, kami melihat ada sesuatu yang harus SNL1 lakukan untuk memberikan apresiasi hard work mereka. Jujur, tiap minggu meminta mereka datang untuk berbicara, persiapan speech, itu bukanlah hal yang mudah. Makanya ada anak-anak kan yang lesnya, aduh mami, I'm so tired, I don't want to come, is it? Karena kenapa? Karena setiap datang kan diminta untuk berpikir otaknya mau ngomong dong. Kan begitu. Itu adalah sebuah hal yang challenging. Jangankan mereka, kita saja juga challenging. Tapi yang mau kita lihat adalah kedisiplinannya. Hari ini kita sudah bisa membuktikan ketika anak-anak dia terus mendapatkan amalan yang seperti ini, every week setiap minggunya, tanpa disadari bagi mereka berbicara dengan orang, berbicara di atas panggung itu adalah sebuah hal yang sudah biasa dia lakukan. Nah, untuk itu kami melihat progres ini kan prosesnya butuh sebuah komitmen mereka. Sehingga di SNL1, I think 5 years ago, 5 tahun yang lalu kita mulai ada namanya SNL1 Award. Jadi di dalam award ini adalah bentuk penghargaan yang kami berikan terhadap progres anak-anak. Saya semalam ketemu dengan orang tua, anaknya udah I think 3 years ya, 3 tahun. Dia bilang finally anak saya tahun ini dapat nominee, jadi dapat awarded. Di mana tahun pertama mamanya tahu walaupun dia nggak dapat, mamanya tetap kirimkan dia jadi tukang pengen apa? Bukan, dia suka main drum. Jadi mamanya kasih dia jadi talent, dia main drum pada kala itu. Tahun kedua dia jadi house leader. Ya pegang bendera itu jadilah. Jadi I think karena itu orang tua terus mempush, jadi dia melihat satu environment. Akhirnya tahun ini dia punya kesempatan menjadi awardee salah satunya. Dan makanya kan kali ini undangannya udah beda. Undangannya dia punya dapat kesempatan menjadi salah satu nominee. Tapi ya setiap perkembangan anak yang berbeda-beda. Some of them, beberapa di antara mereka ada yang 1 tahun, ada yang 2 tahun, 3 tahun. Nah, di dalam penghargaan ini bukan mengcomparison, membandingkan satu sama lain. Mungkin orang tua akan melihat kenapa SNL1 tetap mempush melakukan yang namanya part of the competition. Karena kami mau mengajarkan kepada anak-anak pada kehidupan sebenarnya, pagi hari kamu bangun pun suatu hari in real life is all about competing. Tetapi bagaimana kamu bisa compete dengan sehat? Beberapa waktu lalu, orang tua yang hadir di lomba kita di Dairy Park, itu setelah selesai lomba, ada anak yang dia selesai, dia kalah, mungkin dia nggak menang, dia terbiasa menang, dia shake hand kepada temannya, dan dia datang kepada kami. Miss, adakah hal yang bisa saya buat lebih baik lagi? Apa yang kurang di dalam penampilan saya hari ini? Itu adalah hal yang memang kami ingin anak-anak tahu, oke, kamu mungkin sudah melakukan apa yang bisa lebih baik lagi. Jadi tujuan di dalam melakukan penghargaan ini, kompetisi dan lain-lainnya adalah potensi seseorang akan bisa muncul kalau dia di push. Sometimes they need to be pushed, jangankan mereka, kita juga sama. Karena kalau terlalu comfort zone, dia tidak bisa maksimal. Karena di masa anak-anak, maksimum dia apalagi kalau dia usia 6 sampai 12 tahun di stage 4-nya mereka itu di inventory sama industrial itu adalah salah satu tempat untuk bisa kita lihat kompetensi mereka. Nanti di usia stage yang kelima di masa remaja, kita udah bisa memaksimalkan lagi kompetensi itu kan, makanya anak-anak itu kalau SD dikasih tes inilah, belajar inilah, itu akan sangat maksimal. Tapi nanti kalau dia udah di SMP, dia udah bisa mulai mengatakan, boleh nggak? Enggak. Kan benar ya, karena memang secara psikologinya mereka itu adalah anak-anak yang sudah mencari jati diri, mulai mencari apa yang cocok untuk mereka. Namun tetap ketika mencari yang cocok, pasti anak-anak memilih yang nyaman. Di momen itulah orang tua akan mengatakan yang nyaman belum tentu good sometimes. Kan begini ya, setuju orang tua? Yang nyaman kan belum tentu good, nyaman kok kita bangun siang, benar? Tapi apakah itu good untuk for their health for long time? Jawabannya kan tidak. Jadi kita bisa kasih mereka analogi sehingga anak-anak mulai memahami mengapa mereka melakukan hal ini. Makanya di new curriculum nanti salah satu yang berubah di itu akan ada namanya financial literacy. Jadi di live project sekarang kan nggak ada financial literacy. Kita cuma kasih free projects, tapi nggak ada financial literasinya. Jadi kita pelan-pelan melihat apa yang sangat dibutuhkan. Karena zaman sekarang banyak orang they know how to earn money, they might know how to manage money. Satu hari dia ngerti, karena orang mungkin kita pusing untuk cari uang. Tapi kalau dia pintar cari uang, nggak pintar manage, ya sama saja. Jadi mengapa kami memasukkan banyak sekali project-project yang baru? So we need the support of the parents yang di new curriculum. Dan back SMA One Award, ini adalah penghargaan yang kami ingin orang tua untuk bisa hadir apabila anaknya tidak mendapatkan nomini bahwa anaknya datang, mungkin dia bisa jadi volunteer. Is it volunteer close registration ready? When is it? Today ya, thank you Miss Agustina. Jadi kalau misalnya mau jadi volunteer itu boleh daftarkan dirinya. Mungkin ya bagi orang tua itu something yang biasa aja, tapi bagi anak-anak ya di atas kamu cuma pegang nih tray, pegang nih what is trays, nampan, cuma jalan ya. Tapi bahagia dia itu beda. Apalagi ketika dia itu kadang-kadang bagi kita kan, aduh, tapi mungkin orang tua harus ngantar dia kan. Harus ngantar, terus kemudian harus lebih pagi ngantar dia, terus dia harus melakukan persiapan. Tapi bagi anak-anak itu something is challenging. Dan mereka sangat happy karena dia harus mendengarkan. Belum lagi cuma jadi penerima tamu untuk kasih orang duduk. Saya masih ada anak, dia sampai pernah kesel, dia sama orang tua. Dia bilang, I don't want to tell already, saya suruh duduk ini, nanti dia bilang, wait, dia pindah sana, pindah sini. Stres dia marah-marah di belakang, why they don't want to listen? Dan dia baru tahu ternyata sesimpel itu menyuruh orang duduk, bagi dia itu mungkin udah kan, have a seat. Terus kan ada tamu kadang tunggu ya, terus dia pindah kan ke teman-teman, terus tempat itu kosong. Dan di saat itulah mereka akan belajar untuk bagaimana melihat the real life. Belum lagi yang bagian registrasi itu kan harus pakai QR. Terus karena di internet nggak bisa, terus dia kesel dengan handphonenya lelet. Dan di situ Bapak kita akan mengajarkan anak-anak. Dan di SMA One Award memang kita mengharapkan anak-anak semuanya bisa hadir bukan hanya untuk mendapatkan awardee, tetapi mereka juga punya kesempatan untuk dapat melakukan yang terbaik dari mereka untuk bisa menjadi volunteer. Is it the exam done already?
Yes.
It's done. Okay. Okay, and everyone's welcoming back. You may have a seat. For the first speakers and all, you may have a seat. Yes. Yes. Ini. Speakers, I think you guys, speaker you may sit in front, so it's easy for the committee. Still have another speaker? Yeah. You may have sit the first round, the first row is also okay. You want to sit here, and for all the speakers, you all know, I allow all of you to sit in front. Is it this corner complete? Oh, another two people more. Oke, so all parents nanti di SMA One Award tanggal berapa? 12 April. Semua anak free tiket. Jadi untuk anak SMA One mau datang free tiket, oke. Tetapi kalau untuk parents yang dapat memang adalah anaknya yang mendapatkan nomini. Jadi kalau memang anaknya tidak dapat nomini, nanti anaknya mau datang. Kalau parents juga mau datang, then parents need to buy the ticket as well sebagai dukungan kepada anak-anak. Oke, I think that's all for the SMA One Award. Dan sampai jumpa, saya berharap berjumpa di tanggal 12. Tanggal 12 April sampai di sini saya akan kembalikan kepada MC. Tepuk tangan untuk MC-nya boleh?
So everyone, how was the test? Was it easy?
Yeah.
I'm sure that it was very easy, and all of you did great on the test. Now it's time to start explaining the rules of the for the research.
First of all, it's necessary to put your phones on throughout the whole session so that the speakers will pay attention and can speak.
Second, during the speaker's speech, you will be highly appreciated if you don't enter or exit the room. Doing so may distract the speakers. Also, littering is strictly prohibited in the room.
Lastly, at the end of each speech, speakers receive feedback and comments from judges. Those audience who want to give feedback, you can give your feedback as well by accessing the link and form even after your page shown here. Please don't write anything.
Now, we will continue and explain the time limit.
Members will deliver any speech title of the choice. In 5 minutes, the timer will turn on the green light. In 6 minutes, our timer will turn on the light. And 7 minutes, our timer will turn on the red.
Children can deliver any speech in the usage of time, music, property, or even a make 5 to 7 minutes. In 5 minutes, our timer will turn on the green light. In 6 minutes, our timer will turn on the yellow. In 7 minutes, they will turn on the red.
Hotels have the option to deliver a persuasive speech and a speech in front of a camera or a stand-up comedy. All of these speeches are to be for 10 minutes. In 8 minutes, our timer will turn on the green light. In 9 minutes, our timer will turn on the yellow light. And in 10 minutes, the battery will stop.
General Assembly will deliver the session of 10 to 15 minutes. In 10 minutes, the timer will after 30 seconds, the timer will turn on the yellow light. And in 15 minutes, the timer will turn on the red.
All speakers have a race to after the maximum time to finish their speech. However, if you go beyond this 30 period, your score will be affected. Also, remember after you deliver your speech, please smile and say, "That was easy."
We would also like to share some important information regarding the update terms for real stage. Please note that participants who have not yet passed the real stage will not receive the real stage certificate this month.
However, there's no need to worry. Parents or guardians will be personally informed by the PIC to insert communication and support. Participants who have not yet passed will be able to be joined the next real stage.
Once again, a reminder for all participants to always pay attention to the time limit, just like all the speakers to the stage. You won't be ridiculed. On the other hand, if the speech is too long, you may lose the audience attention.
Now is the moment for us to officially begin the real stage 48. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Then,
Let's begin. Our first speaker is someone from Cairo, giving the speech titled One Holy Thing. Let's welcome Emma Khadija Laila.
Erman Swahilida Laya. Why bullying is danger? Why bullying is danger? Erman Swahilida Laya. Your time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. The stage is yours. Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you guys ever been bullied before? If you guys ever, raise your hand. Thank you for your answer. Because in today's speech, I will talk about bullying. So, what is bullying in the first place? Bullying is a kind of harassment where she or he is harassing someone with physical contact or words that will hurt their hearts in a horrible way. So, later, I will get into three types of bullying. So, this is the bullying that we should avoid. First is the physical bullying. This type of bullying is when someone is punching or making physical contact with the victim. For example, punching, kicking, or sleeping. Let me give the example. People A is walking to people B, and people A is just punching people B for no reason because he is, they say, he. So, this bullying is dangerous because it will cause many things to the victim, like scars, bleeding, and even can go to the hospital. So, the next type of bullying that we should avoid is the verbal bullying. Verbal bullying is a type of bullying where where she or he is harassing someone with a hurt them. Let me get an example here. People A is walking to people B again. And then they said, "You are so ugly." So, ladies and gentlemen, what is your reaction when someone Thank you for your answers. Yeah, most of the people said that they will be sad because ugly is the word that uh, their face. And this type of bullying is so dangerous because if we stand up some people in their hearts forever, and this cause traumas and less confidence to the victim. And and the third type of bullying is the cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a type of bullying that is kind of like verbal bullying, but it's in the internet. So do you guys know Facebook, X, or Instagram? social media? Yes, the common cause of cyberbullying. So let's get an example. People A is posting a photo about himself, and then when people A check the comments, they see hate, like ugly, very you will not get likes or like that. And what is your reaction when you see someone say that in your post? Angry, sad, or just ignore? So is to ignore them. Because if we are sad or angry at them, it will cause more stress and more energy wasted. So if you really actively, just ignore them. Because the only way to stop them is to ignore them. Because if you ignore them, they will lose interest in you. And when they lose interest, they will stop bullying. So, what is bullying? Bullying is so dangerous because there is so many cases that there is because of bullying. She fell off of a fourth wall, floor building. I did this in the news with the teacher. So, this bullying can cause traumas, physical scars, and lacks confidence. And how do we stop bullying? How do we stop bullying is to have signs of stop bullying. You can make them in school. You can send them in school too. Yes. And then you can and then if you see someone bullying, you need to say to them, hey, bullying is very dangerous for the environment, schools, and students. So, you stop. So, in conclusion, bullying is dangerous because it has taken many lives and many victims. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to my speech. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for your wonderful speech. Now let's have our judges to give feedback. Let's welcome Judge Miss Lisa.
Hi, Agnes. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss.
May Miss Lisa know that how long you prepare for this speech?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Nice. Okay, Miss Lisa know that why you bring this topic.
Because we have since many causes of bullying in this planet, so I will be
Okay, on this planet. Okay. It's nice. You know, I learned, thank you so much. So many people talk about bullying, but none of them said something that they share about, okay, bullying usually very hurt, or bullying is from maybe adults and parents and teachers why we were not bullying. But today I heard this story is from you as a student that you saw your environment or maybe the news that make you feel curious. That's why you want to share with us why bullying is dangerous. I think you choose a very nice topic. And then this is a very good one, especially for the speaker. They know that the topic, they master the topic. I can sense that you master the topic. Is it? Yes. Then if like this, everyone, would you mind give a round of applause to Anna? As a good speaker, before we can even speak, it's not only talk about what we want to talk, but what we want to hear. Then your topic is really relate with the audiences. Because most of them also as a students. It might be only not student. Bullying is not only case sometimes from students, right?
Yes.
It can come from everywhere. That's interesting you share about cyberbullying. Thank you is a very nice thing to discuss. The second thing I like the most is about the vocal dynamics. The vocal dynamics is about the pronunciation. You pronounce all single word is a very clear. Even though just now you don't know what to mention kanji, you also just mention it in Bahasa Indonesia. It's okay. It make the speech is really easy to understand for the audiences. So the pronunciation and also the things that I like the most your pause. Do you do the pause just now? You let us think like this. How many of you in this that ever got bullied? You let the audience look in and raise their hand, and then you use it. It's a very good one. So this pause is very good at speaker. Okay? The pronunciation, the pressure, the pause. Next time, if you can do it better, one thing that this is I want to give you a good clue. If you want to know what that's, you want to know this? Okay. It's just now you mentioned only people A, people B, and then you mentioned about bullying is danger. Maybe you can insert either a story that it might be happens in your real life if you ever saw, or maybe your experience that what you have done. Example, just now you teach us right how to stop the bullying. Maybe you can share. Do you ever find out that bullying in your environment?
Repeat the question again, please.
Do you ever, okay, do you ever saw a bully in your environment?
Yes.
Okay. You ever done kind of action to call them strong?
Yes.
Yes, maybe just now, rather than you tell us how, you may tell them that what you have done. How to stop bullying? I saw in my environment, my school, some of friends, they do bullying to my friends. So I tell them that to stop it because bullying is dangerous. I have done this, and it's not your turn. That makes this planet, what you say, right? Be a beautiful one start by our time to stop bullying. Maybe you can practice. This time you do it already, but you just tell us which one that you have done. Okay, Edmund? Great job. You can do it better for the next speech. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. For the feedback will be very useful. Please ring the bell and have a seat. Let's give a round of applause. Ella. Nurseries and parents can fill out the feedback form, which will be very appreciated by children.
Our second speaker, our second speaker is someone from the class of Gandhi. He is bringing the speech about balance. Let's welcome Hello Wende Potter. Hello Wende Potter. Gadgets, Carol Wende Potter. And the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Stay good luck.
for a second. If I told you all to put your phone away for the next 24 hours, what would you feel? Would you feel a little bit stressed? Or would you feel like nothing happened?
Big stress.
Bit stressed.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Yes, I would too. We use our gadgets not only for emergency, but we use it especially like on music, for entertainment, and also our pictures. And we can also check our friends as well. So it's basically like on a break and always touch our pockets all the time. So let's give guys some credits. They are actually amazing. Because with one device, you can actually learn anything in seconds. You can relax with music and you can also chat with your friends and you won't be disconnected with them. Apps like they are meant to entertain you or help you, like having to solve a math problem, or to solve something hard like engineering something, or how to draw. Apps like TikTok, they are meant to entertain you, so you can get bored. Maybe you're sitting in line or you are lost. Apps like Google, they are meant to help us look answers immediately that our parents could not. So we can declare that gadgets are not tools. They help us, but the other side of gadgets. Let's say a lot of people up the job because of one notification only, and suddenly their living is limited. They are suddenly on their phone non-stop. Well, that statement is not accepted because gadgets are meant to entertain you. They take your attention and hold on to it. And things like endless scrolling, automatic videos, notifications, and mostly stories. Our gadgets also includes calculator, and that helps us as well. Rely everything on them. Our limits, our skills can be limited. And over time, this can affect our focus, our sleep, our confidence, and also our connection with our friends and family. As I said, it can make us feel more connected, but it can also make us feel distance. For example, there are a group with lots of people, and they are all on their gadgets. You're the only one who doesn't have a phone, but no one pays attention to you because they're so busy scrolling on their phone non-stop. There are some small habits that could help us be in control, so we won't lose our good into it all the time. Let me tell you, this is how. No phones 30 minutes before sleep. When you forget it's 30 minutes before sleep, you will keep using it and won't feel like the night has turned into day. So it's basically like reality. Do not use your phone, your family meals, or meetings. You have to respect your family, your friends, and also the food sitting there for you. Do not keep your gadget in your bedroom. So, let me share my experience with you. I used to be addicted to my gadget. I admit it. I would always use it everywhere, every day. I also use it in the mirror with long lights on as dangerous. But that all changed when I was brought to the doctor. The doctor told me I had abnormal eyesight. My focus are normal like other people. And I have to do 1 hour a day. After that, I listened to it. I thought to myself before using my I thought, am I using this I'm not good or the habit or I'm using it with purpose. So, in conclusion, the gadgets are powerful. They help us, but like every concept, limit our skills. And always, if you use your gadgets again, think first. Am I using this with purpose or or the habit? Because the real power is in you, not in the gadgets. I am Cheryl again, and thank you for listening to my speech.
Wow, thank you for your wonderful speech. Now let's have our judges to give feedback. Let's welcome our judges, Molly.
Cheryl, how do you feel after the speech?
I feel really. I was like, I forgot what to do.
Okay, that was a nice speech. I love the way you do your hand gesture. It's so on point, and you open your hand gesture through the whole speech. So it shows that you are really confident in on. And I also like how you dress today. You look so professional and convincing to the speaker. And I think as a speaker myself, I will believe what you say. And the next thing I like from you is you even do stage movement from side to side, from to statement your point. So it makes us know what is the point of every movement that you make. And if I can suggest you one thing to improve in the future is just now I saw you doing this recording, showing your back of your hand. One, two, three. One time, and then the next time you're already doing this. I think you remember. So the thing why we use this instead of this is just because this side is not really visible, like you are hiding something there. That's why we speak. When you are showing your palm to the audience, they might see you physically well, and then they will know that what you show is correct. Okay, that's all me.
Thank you very much. I believe that was very good. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again give a round of applause for Carol. Please go back. That was easy. Before moving on to the 1 minute of silence, your trainers and parents can fill out the feedback form, which will be very appreciated by your trainers.
Our current speaker is from the class of Athlete. She is bringing a topic of what children wants to grow. Let's welcome Della and Lydia.
Daniela, the main diva. Why children want to grow up quickly? Why children want to grow up quickly? The main diva. Time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. The stage is yours. Good luck.
Okay, first of all, I believe that all of you have ever experienced the feeling of being a child, right? So today, I am going to ask you a favor. Please raise your hand if you think that you like being a child and you want to go back to your childhood. And thank you. And can you please raise your hand if you don't like the feeling of being a child and you don't want to go back to your childhood? So based on the voting that I have is most of the people here likes the feeling of being a child and wants to go back to your childhood. Don't worry, it applies to everyone here, even me. If you ask an adult if they want to go back to their childhood, they will say yes. And if you ask a child if they want to go back to their childhood, they will say no. They want to grow up quickly. And there are a reason for it. First is children want freedom. Since we were a kid, our parents told us what to do, when to sleep, wake up in the morning, and also we have to attend tuitions, schools, which is very reasonable. Parents told us the do's and the don'ts that we have to do. This is because we are still underage. We need our parents to guide us. But us children think that it was very controlling. But children see adults as someone who are very free. They get to, first of all, they have jobs. They can earn money. So they can buy things that they want to buy, like shopping, also buy things, buy snacks, buy foods, which makes kids very envy. That makes kids want to grow up quickly. Second reason is children is very curious. Children are born naturally curious. So as for me, one day this pops up. What if I become an adult? What happens? But for me, I see an adult as someone who are very rich, like someone who can shop, buy something, earn money. That makes me very envy. And the feeling of wanting to grow up is more increasing. And here comes the storytelling. Once, when I was a kid, I went to a supermarket. As I was a kid, I cannot reach the top shelf, which is very reasonable since I was short at that time. So I see an adult who can reach the top shelf very easily without anybody's help or consent. That makes me jealous. I'm so envy and I want to grow up with you. That's just what I felt. But you don't have to blame yourself. You don't have to blame your parents. You don't have to blame anybody else because growing up has its own process. You don't have to be jealous. You don't have to be angry because you have to appreciate the things that you have. You have to be grateful that you're still a kid. Because if you ask an adult, they will say yes. They want to go back to their childhood. As I said, please remember this. Also, what if you go to the supermarket and then you cannot reach the top shelf? How do you feel? Happy? Happy? Okay. Because everybody has go through this process.
And if you ask a teenager, do you guys want to go back to your childhood? Okay. There are some types of reason. It's because teenager might miss their clear skin. You know what I mean? Like when you're a teenager, you have lots of people. And also teenager might miss their friendship. Because as we get older, bullying is now very common. We have to experience lots of friendship problems. As I said, please appreciate the time that you had being a kid. Also, when we were a kid, we keep on sleeping, eating, watching YouTube all day because that's just all what we did. Remember the quote? Please appreciate the time when you had as a kid. And this is Daniela speaking. Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation.
Wow, thank you for your wonderful speech. Now let's ask one of our judges to give feedback. Let's welcome our judge, Miss Lisa.
Yes, thank you so much, Victoria. Yeah, I love this way this video to remind me as well when you ask the questions that how you would like to go back to childhood and improve. It's true, most of us adults, we raise up our hand. Is it? But it's true, if you ask me to come back to the moment when I was kids, my job is only study, 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 and then think too much. Then I think it's a very good my teachers give me assignment to do and I'm really responsible to do. These are the things that really give me a flashback moment. Thank you so much, Daniela. Yes, so the thing I have to do is actually your vocal dynamics. Okay, like showing the first speaker as well. You pronounce it every single word very clear, and also the pressure. You understand the pressure? Pressure is not point. When you ask all of the audience, you give the pressure like, yes, you see, there's children or all adults in here, they also wish to come back to their childhood moment. You precise the pressures of this segment. I think this is very first point as a speaker. You know that which part that you want to emphasize. Please make sure in the next speech you still keep any kind of these things. The things is also you mentioned step by step, you do not rush. This is a very nice way as a speaker. That is a room of improvement. I do believe that you can even make it better. Okay. What Miss Lisa can give to you is try as Victoria and MC you move to the right side along. Yes. Okay, just now I saw you, you keep moving right with a small step. Did you notice it? Like you like to like A, B, C, and keep moving for this. Remember, as a speaker, all movement matters. Means to say that if you do not don't move if there is no meaning. If you would like to say that, how many of you in here that wish to come back to your childhood? Just stay here. You don't need to move here and here. If they said that you may just like one step ahead and stop. You see, most of the people in this room, you like to come back to your childhood moment. If you would like to mention, let me tell a story. When I was kid, then you can move to the left and stop. Left and move. Alright? Okay, and this one is about movement and hand gesture. So align with your hand gesture. This one you mentioned one. Which one is that? One or one? Okay. One or one? Which one?
One.
Right, so you do that. Because the hand gesture should be open. Yeah. So looks more confident. That's all from Miss Lisa. I wish to see you in the next research. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lisa. I believe the feedback will be very useful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again give a round of applause for Daniela. Go back to your seat. For moving with the driver.
Our first speaker is from the class of Penfield. He is speaking the topic about iPhone 7. Let's welcome Kevin Zhao.
Then now iPhone 17 Pro Max, iPhone 17 Pro Max, then down. Time is 7 minutes. Stage your school.
Hardware deserves to be enjoyed with a high quality technology. Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. I am Devon, and today I want to talk about a thing that really popular, especially in the time of 2025 and also in the field of mathematics. And this thing is released on September 19th, 2025. So this thing also related to the uh, till this point, does anyone know what I'm talking about? Yes, that's correct. Today, I'm gonna talk about iPhone 17 Pro Max. As you know, iPhone 17 Pro Max was just released and it has expensive price. Although it was expensive, there are many people in this world can afford to buy this thing. And also today, the point is today I want to talk about the specification of each phone and also the pros and also the cons. So make sure you carry it for the next 5 minutes. So this one is the first point is this one has an 818 Pro chip, which is the modern chip, the most modern chip right now. But chipset is a thing that help your phone to operate. But while you are playing your phone or editing something, this thing that will help your phone to operate and help you to enjoy the virtual world so you can get the best from through. And the second one, this phone has a large capacity battery, which is 5,000 mAh, and also it has 50-watt wireless charging and 7.1 reverse wireless charging. And the third one, which is I think we don't have any other phone, is 8K video resolution. And this is the most sophisticated camera resolution now. And besides all the specifications that I have told, there are also pros and also cons in this. The pros is this one is made with alloy aluminum material, which is made this one so small granular. The second one, this one has camera and also action button that for this one to operate. And the third one, this one is equipped with iOS 26 and also Apple Intelligence. And the last one, which is the fourth, this one is also has a clear and also bright screen but support from promotion in iPhone 17 Pro Max plus refreshment screens that adjust from so many degrees from 1 hertz to 120 hertz. So you can enjoy the virtual experience best as well. Also, after the pros, there are also the cons. Some of the cons that I will tell you there are 4 things, which is the first one because it has a really high specification and also a friendly material. This one is really expensive. And the second one, this one is also easily scratched and also dented. The third one, this one is wasting battery while the Apple Intelligence are active. And the last one is the upgrade is not significant because from the before phone, which is iPhone 20, iPhone 16 Pro Max, it has 50 megapixel on the camera, and iPhone 17 Pro Max also has the same camera resolution as iPhone. So the upgrade is not too significant. In conclusion, this phone has endless battery, smarter AI, and also killer camera. But you want to find another phone which is no less far away from the iPhone 17 Pro Max. You can buy another brand or also you can buy before iPhone. Like there are many iPhone brand phone that still working to 2026. Like iPhone 15, iPhone 16, and also before that iPhone 15 also. And if you want to buy Android brand, if you want to support your gaming, you can buy like ROG, or if you want to find a smart AI, iPhone, in my opinion, you can find Oppo. And if you want to find a good refresh rate on phone, you can buy Huawei. And that's all from me. Thank you for listening.
Wow, thank you very much. Now I would want to buy iPhone 17 Pro Max.
That's it, Mama.
Now let's have one of our judges. Let's welcome our judge, Miss Molly.
Hi everyone, you still there? Little bit, okay. Then we bring this topic, iPhone 17 Pro Max. You sound like a reviewer. And I could believe what you say because you remember all the information that included in the iPhone 17 Pro Max, right? And the way your vocal dynamics is very good now that we can hear you clearly, and you also the information that you give is also giving so many details that was us acknowledge the phone already and the plus point and also the cons of the phone itself. And if I can suggest you one to make it your speech even more improved is the first thing is because we talk about iPhone 17 Pro Max, not everyone knows this. It is popular, but we cannot assume that everyone knows this phone. And then how to support it is by bringing the iPhone 17 Pro Max, or you can bring a slide to show how is it look like. Because this is like a review. Because when you review something without showing something, people tend to like, how does it look like? Okay. And then in the middle, you can, rather than using your hands closed like this, you can always open your hands and still show the first thing, the second thing, to make it more visible to the audience as well. So that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I believe the feedback will be very useful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again give a round of applause for Devon Brown. Before moving, let's have 1 minute of silence. So our dear friends and parents have filled out the feedback form. Very appreciated by our fifth speaker is someone from the class of Canfield. He is bringing a topic about the pressure of choosing our future. Let's welcome Gracia Ikan Susanto.
Gracias, Tiffany Susanto. Title: Pressure on choosing our future. Pressure on choosing our future. Gracias, Tiffany. The candidate is Gala.
What do you want to be when you grow up? I'm sure all of us here has heard that question at least once in our life, or maybe even multiple times, especially for teenagers. We often ask these questions by our parents, relatives, teachers, and even our own friends. It might sound like just one simple question, yet it sparks fear in a lot of teenagers' minds. Hello everyone, my name is Gracia Tiffany Susanto, and today I'll be talking about why making that decision feels so difficult. But first, to understand that, we have to look into something inside our own body, inside our brain specifically. It is our frontal lobe. What is our frontal lobe, you may ask? Our frontal lobe is the largest part of our brain, which is located in the front part, just right behind our forehead, so around here. Our frontal lobe is actually one of the most important part of our body, as it provides control for voluntarily body movements like moving my hands or moving my legs, as well as controlling our emotions and those problem-solving and decision-making skills. But here's a not so fun fact. Even though it's actually the most important part of our body, it actually takes the longest to fully develop. Scientists said that for our frontal lobe to be fully developed could be in our mid-20s to early 30s by then. Now, let that sink in. Teenagers are often expected to pick a path that is their entire life. What they want to study, what job they want to pursue, and what life they want to build. All while the third part of their brain is not even close to being fully developed yet. Isn't that so crazy? We are constantly surrounded by questions like, what university do you want to go in after you graduate? What career do you want to pursue? Even can get married one day? Isn't that so crazy? And sometimes all we can answer is we don't know. Because how are we supposed to know? At this age, we're still discovering
what we like and what we don't like. Passions are constantly evolving. Hobbies are constantly changing. Just because we like something today doesn't mean we're gonna like it 10 years into the future. And honestly, I relate to that a lot. I am someone who has what feels like 10,000 different hobbies. I like to cook, I like to bake, I like to craft. I just enjoy doing anything. So how am I supposed to just pick one path out of all of those choices? It feels nearly impossible. How do I ensure that that one path will guarantee me a good future? How would I ensure that it will make me a successful person in life? And no matter how many times I ask myself the same question, the answer is still the same. I don't know. Because that's the thing about the future. You cannot predict how exactly it will turn out. I'm not a psychic. You are not a psychic. None of us here can actually predict what will happen tomorrow, let alone 10 years into the future. So the only way we can actually experience the future is to live through it, to experience life, make new friends, and try new things, and maybe even falling down along the way. But that's completely okay. Because as long as you have the courage to stand up and keep going, everything will be fine. Because your life isn't determined by that one decision you make. So the next time someone asks you about your future, maybe don't think of life as just one straight line with a perfect destination at the end. Maybe think of it as a journey, an exploration to find out who you really are, what you're really passionate about, and what kind of person you want to be. Because your life isn't determined by that one decision you impulsively made when you were just 16 or 17 years old. In fact, it is shaped by all of the experiences you gain, all of the friends you make, and all of the things you can encounter, as well as the courage that you have to stand up and keep going on. Because, as Waldo Emerson once said, life is a journey, not a destination. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for your wonderful speech. Now, let's have one of our judges here. Let us welcome Miss Lisa.
Okay, thank you. Lucia, listening your speech is really a good I'm just like listening someone sharing the feeling. Okay, so what is the thing that I can sense when I deliver your speech? Your emotion is really well delivered. It's like this is the feeling you feel also pressure of choosing your future. That's a very nice way as a speaker. You can really not only deliver a speech, but you also do a kind of a sharing. So your audience can feel thoughtful and then we also can feel touchful when you're listening your speech. I think this is a very good job. Thank you for sharing. Just want to tell you that you are not alone. When we was a teenage, we also feel the same things kind of the life process that we feel past. Okay, so the boys at all age well. I really like the closing when you mentioned that life is not about the destinations, but it's about a journey. So we enjoy every single things. With your age, you're having so many good things that you like the most, kind of baking, and then you like cooking, so many things. This is good. Thanks to your mom and dad that giving you more chances. You know why? This is kind of a capital for you to build your future. Then all the things I believe that you will need it, either sooner in life or even later. That's when you go and then find earning money, and then I believe this is kind of why we need to have more skills. One of the things that when you deliver a speech, this is also skills. That is only able to choose your future. Am I right? Okay. Now, after you share it with us, you still feel pressure. Oh, still feel pressure because you still don't know what to do next. Okay, that's why we wish to tell you your speech. I'm waiting to share your own feeling more. Because just now what I feel that you only like teach us, and it's okay to have this, but I'm waiting your own story. Examples like your mom asking you, your teachers that keep asking, and what do you plan to do? Like just now you mentioned the prefrontal cortex that like that's the way that's kind of because it's divided for three. The very important one is prefrontal cortex. I do agree as well. It's how us to manage things, how us to do a decision making. That's why what you have to do is now just now next time when you do the first speech on you may insert your story and what you have done. Okay, what do you plan? So all of us have learned something. Pressure is okay, not only you. You also face the same thing, but we can do. We can be more inspiring. Okay, Gracia? Okay, that's only from Miss Lisa. All the best. That I wish whatever it is, enjoy and free.
Thank you very much, Miss Lisa. I believe the feedback will be very useful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again take a round of applause for Gasolina. Correct, yes, I remember it now.
That was easy.
Before moving on to the next speaker, let's have 1 minute of silence to hold their prayer. Can fill out the feedback, which will be very appreciated by students. Our seventh speaker is someone from the class of Ruby. She is bringing the topic of why failing is important. Let's welcome Thomas Brady. So, Ruben, what is the closest upcoming step? Is it astronomical words? Not really. It is coming up in 12 April 2026. So don't forget to come. Does anyone here got awarded for the astronomical awards? Anyone? Don't forget to go to the astronomical awards. Because who knows? Maybe at first place.
Jocelyn said
While we're waiting, let's take a moment to remember why public speaking is so important. Public speaking is not just about being safe, but about building confidence and learning how to express the ideas clearly. Now let's welcome Dr. Silver.
Jocelyn said yes.
Our sixth speaker of the day is someone who I personally know as someone that he is from the class of Ezra. He is bringing a topic of a part of God. Let's give a round of applause to Jocelyn Sydney. Jocelyn Sydney, a part of me that's gone, a part of me that's gone, Jocelyn Sydney. Your kind limit is 5 minutes. Finish your food.
Who here has a pet? Maybe I can see a couple people having pets. Well, some people might see their pets as their family member. Some people might see their pets as their best friend. Some people might see their pets as some animal in their house. And that's a bummer. Because I remember the day where I talked with my dog, Casey. The first day where I met her was in the vet. And there was a memory that stuck in my mind. Every single day, I spent my whole day with her, waking up with her, eating breakfast with her, and she would even walk me to the door before going to school. Every day, I would wake up and she would bark at me just to wake me up because for me, high school hits maybe not to someone, but high school changed my life a lot. I had to move out of my parents' house at 15. I had to transfer to a new school where I basically knew no one. I had to move tuitions that I actually enjoyed. I really enjoyed my violin classes, my piano classes, and even my vocal classes. But everything is turned upside down like distance. And the only thing that was with me at home was my dog, Casey. I have to spend my days in my grandparents' house where they're rarely home. So every morning I have to rely on my dog to wake me up every morning to go to school. And sometimes when I feel sick, I have to push myself to go to school to not miss a quiz. And so the days go on, and December 15, 2025 is the day. So that day was probably the most traumatic day of my life because at 1 a.m. I was waking up and I saw her, which is quite traumatic. And for 4 weeks since that day, I didn't sleep. I would sleep at 10 p.m. every day and having to wake up at 1 a.m. because that was the time she had to sleep. And I would cry and cry till 4 a.m. because it was the time we got home from that hurting body that I have witnessed seeking CPR and not me. For the week, I only had 5 hours of sleep. And it gets to the point where it doesn't help. I'm the type of person who doesn't believe in anxiety attacks or panic attacks, but after that experience, it changed my life completely. Without my family knowing, I bought sleeping pills online because it's gotten to the point where I couldn't sleep even though I'm very tired. But I really do not recommend anyone here to do the same thing. But that kind of helps me because since I started taking pills, I started to get better. And my sleep schedule starts to be more okay than before. And so life goes on, and I thought to myself, how can someone see small to others, as little as your dog affect so much? And the answer is, Casey wasn't just a dog, because I couldn't name a single person who listened about my day after my home from school. Because Casey is the only one home and the only one who sit and listen to me while tilting her head.
I could name a single person who was so excited to go home waiting by the door. No one would sit there and wait for 80 hours to go home from school as if renewing a brand new face. Every day goes by, and I thought to myself, if I were to offer a new dog, would I take it? And the answer is no, because Casey is irreplaceable because she's the only dog that grew up with me, and she has a personality that no other dog has. And even though she's gone, she left me a message that she taught me that love doesn't require words, it requires appearance and feelings. And you can have all the money and buy anything you want in this world, but you cannot buy time.
Wow, thank you for your wonderful speech. Now let's have one of our judges here to give. Let us hear from our judge. Miss Ulu.
Thank you. Let's give a applause for Jocelyn. Such a cheese. It comes from you. Remind me of my dog as well because my dog is as like last year. So this topic is really resonates a lot with me. And the way you bring it such to give us the realizations that the important part of love is not only people, it's only the things that you love. And then I like the way you wrap it in a really touching your vocal dynamics supporting that as well. And you also have a good way of choosing the title. When you bring a part of me that is gone, it makes us guess what is that about? Is that about your hobby that you cannot play anymore? Is it about something that then you talk about your dog, which is makes it more interesting. And the thing that I can suggest you to make your speech and time even better is to make your movement intentional. Means you are walking from one stage to another, but you should make a plan that it's not just like random. It's intentional, makes that this every movement is have their own points. So we can digest it more and we can absorb what you say at that moment. Okay, that's all for me.
Thank you very much, Miss Moy. I believe that we will be very useful. Now, let's have 1 minute of silence.
That was easy.
Let's have 1 minute of silence before the next speaker speaks.
Hold on. Pay attention. If it's already 5 seconds, we'll close. Okay? Every 5 seconds. Sini ya.
Our seventh speaker. Our seventh. Our seventh speaker is someone from the class of Ruby. She is bringing the hobby of love important. Let's welcome Tang Eun-sin.
Why failing is important? Why failing is important? Tang Eun-sin. The time limit is 7 minutes.
Is it working? Okay, yeah.
So everyone, those who have finished speaking, how do you feel now? Nervous or okay?
Nervous?
Still nervous?
A bit nervous?
Yes, you are still nervous. Yes, still nervous again.
Nervous again.
Those who have learned to go well, I wish you all good luck and try not to.
Wait, yeah. It's on the way.
While we're waiting, let's take a moment to remember why public speaking is so important. Public speaking is not just it's not about just talking instead, but building confidence and learning how to express your emotions and make them clear. When you speak, bring yourself with better, and believe in your own voice. These skills will help you not only in competition, but also in school, leadership, and so every time you step forward to say and speak, you're actually going to be much stronger and more confident person. Now, let's go to our seventh speaker of today. She's someone from the class of Boogie. She is going to be the topic of why failing is important. Let's welcome Ruby. Let's welcome
Tang Eun-sin. Why failing is important? Why failing is important, Tang Eun-sin? Your time limit is 5 to 7 minutes.
So, have you ever wondered whether failing is important or not? Well, raise your hand if you think failing isn't important at all.
Okay.
And then raise your hand if you think failing is important for success. Based on research, about 92% of humans think that failing is not important for success. Meanwhile, only 80% of people think that failing is very important for success. But before I tell you any of those, let me tell you a short story. Years ago, there was a student named Jack. He had a very important test coming up, so he decided to study it. He studied really late at night, practiced a lot, and by the
time it was time for exam, he felt really confident. But then, after getting his score was so low. It was much lower than he expected. And then, he felt really embarrassed and sad about his scores, and he started very hard for the exam. But until here, most of us would feel like we're just going to give up. But for that, he didn't give up. He decided to look at what went wrong. So, after recalling everything, we found that the reason why his score is very low is because that he only focused on memorizing the materials instead of really understanding it. So, what is then to study a bit more deeply. This time, he started asking questions more, and instead of only memorizing it, he started to understand it too. Then, he did much better. So this small mistake is that a different to study. Well, for all of us, I think not all of us, most people think that failure is the opposite of success. Well, like the story I told you, failure is not the opposite of success. Instead, it's actually the path for you to success. Now, even though it probably won't work for most people, but it's still better for you to keep trying on. So today, I want to tell you some reasons on why failing is important for success. The first reason is failure builds up confidence. Well, although it might seem strange, since like failure is make us unhappy. But really, imagine that we did everything according to plan without any failure. Of course, we would feel really happy, right? But what if we fail? Then we try, then success much later. Wouldn't our feeling be much more stronger? The second reason is failure teaches us what doesn't work. For example, we did, do you know Thomas Edison? Because somebody looking for the person who invented light bulb. But then, before he invented light bulb, the teacher using right now, actually the many before. But he doesn't look at his failure as something bad. Instead, he sees his failure as some or a method that doesn't work. So he decided to find another way to figure out how to make the light bulb light. The third reason is that failure teaches us what failure teaches us what we should do to make it better. For example, if you know that without failure, we would never you guys might be asking why. Because imagine that there's something you're working on right now, then you fail. But then I thought you just keep doing and keep doing until you success. It probably makes us feel like we're more happier and confident. So the next time you fail a competition, fail a test, or even make a mistake of something, don't just stop there. Instead, keep trying, keep moving on, keep learning until you reach that point, the point where you're happy, most happiest. That's all. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Basit. You may return to your seat first.
No.
And fix the bell.
Okay. 2 to 3 minutes. Yes. Amen.
Let's give it up for Tan En Sin. Tan En Sin, how do you? And how did you feel doing your test? Of course, I believe every private year, and even me, my first speech out was very. But again, the quality that you bring, to be honest, is a private level. You brought a grade that is very deep and also very little. This month, I failed a lot of time. In competitions, in my game, in class, I failed a lot of subjects. But your speech was able to bring me to a life that shows me that maybe failing is important. Maybe failing is good for people. And maybe failing in class is okay. But I know where my mistake is. And you were able to hook us in the opening by using a question. It's a very good thing. Hooking the audience in the opening, very important. Actually, for everybody here, for all the speakers here, maybe even the parents here, if you want to do a speech, I recommend you guys to hook the audience in the opening. When you hook the audience in the opening, they will more likely to listen and watch you. And you did just that. And your gesture movement was also very, for private to use gesture movement is already a very huge step. Using your gesture movement can also show that you are confident. And it shows that you did prepare. Now, there are some things that I believe you may use in your future as a surgeon to make it look even better. And that is by expanding your arm even more. The one that all your arms were. Don't worry, your arms are very long. It's my job, it's fine. It's my job. Not only will you look professional, you will feel even more confident because you feel like you can touch everything. But feels that you earn the stage, it feels that you own the stage. And talking about owning the stage, I believe if you move around the stage more, you will show that you have the 100% of the stage. Let me just move a bit to the left, to the right. Well, because I noticed that you're delivering a story, right? In delivering a story, I believe if you move around the stage, you can help the audience to understand that. The first part of your speech, you start the middle. If you go to the next part of your speech, you can go to the left. So people can know, oh, in the middle, they will do it. In the left section, you're talking about this and that. But overall, I'm feeling for a private level, your speech was amazing. And I will look forward to your surgeon speeches in the future. Thank you.
You may now be carefully and
now, we would like to call Tan En Sin back on stage.
now let's have one of our judges here to give feedback. Let's welcome Miss Lisa.
Yay, thank you, Victoria. Tan En Sin, and then today we bring it the things that I like from your speech is only about the title, but in the beginning you have the subtitle issue with you. And what is the thing I like most is you stay calm. Okay, you get my point, right? You stay calm, you do not panic. This is one of the things, a very important thing that might be sometimes you don't teach all the students directly, but the way how you can conquer the stage. You can conquer the stage. I think this is a very good job. When you got a problem that's out of your control, you do not try to panic, you stay calm. This is the first point, remember this. Next time you will never know, right? You will remember all the good things, but sometimes out of the control. Yeah, this is the thing that I like the most. Just know when the way you try to be calm in the beginning. And similarly, one of the things that really catch my mind is about the topic. Why praying is important. Like when you ask the audiences in here that how many of you it is an apple fail? That everyone in here for sure that it's apple fail. What I can have to waste just now in the speech. What is the main point that when you are going to the phrase in your life? Then why this is important? The message that you can bring more is just now, it's just only sharing is important. You get my point, right? But it's only important. And then maybe you can insert more, either the supportive story, either from your own story, or maybe the post that you have write to support the speech. Last but not least, it's not only about the content, you can do it better, it's also about the delivery. How to do it delivery? I saw a video, maybe Cox later you can see and show you, that you try to pretend that to do this.
Why telling is important? I do believe that in most of the words, and then it's most
Of the words, you are using the same hand gesture. Okay? So what you can do is like, it's okay. Next time, you can record so you can evaluate. Maybe it's just that you get used on it. Okay? Remember, you need to control the hand gesture. Only that maybe plans it. I wish that we can do it next. Thank you. Back to the MC.
Thank you very much, Ms. Isa. I believe that
That was
easy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one minute. Our ninth speaker of the day is someone from the class of Da Vinci. He is our class. Let's welcome Gavin Estincha. Karen Destinsia. Good life, Karen Destinsia. Your time unit is 5 to 7 minutes. Go.
Before I start, let me ask everyone a question. What do you think matters most in this life? Raise up your hand if you think money matters the most. Now, what about fame? If you think being famous is the most essential in life, please raise up your hand. Okay, thank you. What about being good humans? Do you think it's the most important in life? Raise up your hand. And thank you. Or perhaps anyone in the audience have a different answer. Please. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, these are the aspects that the society always teaches us to have in order to live a good life. If you have at least one of these, it means you're living. But what if you don't have any? And let me tell you the story. One time, when I was going out with my friends at the mall, we spotted someone drinking a luxury car. You know what my friends told me? They want to live a luxury life like that too. Just happily driving the car to the city. But once, during a family vacation, I heard my uncle saying that he would like to live as a doctor because he said being a doctor will bring many money and you'll be well known by others and you'll be a successful person. Or there's also once when I was sitting at a restaurant and I heard someone saying that the true essence in this life. But ladies and gentlemen, I told you that the happiest people on earth don't have any of these. But what they have is simply good relationships with others. You might wonder why. And let me tell you. The first one is that good relationships actually boost our health. So in 2013, Harvard University did research. And one of its director called Robert Waldinger reviewed this. Apparently, the people who were the healthiest at age 50 will be the healthiest at age 80. So it means in order to have a long life, you can just simply have good relationships with others. Then nowadays, when we talk about health, what do we pay attention to first? Blood cholesterol, blood pressure, many of the things. But what we often overlook is our relationship with others. We share a meaningful bond with others. Because if you don't, this is your sign to build one. But then, what if you're constantly lonely? You don't have someone to rely on. Loneliness can slowly kill you. This is Dr. Julian Holt, a researcher at Young University. And she revealed that if you lack social connection with others, it has the same effect as smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. Can you imagine? We are constantly warned about the danger of smoking, that it will damage our lungs, hearts, our immune system. But then, how can something as trivial as loneliness slowly attack us? And the reason is because when you constantly feel isolated, you perceive the world as unsafe. Your memory will slowly worsen. Your immune system will weaken. And you find that you're not living a purposeful life anymore. And these things will slowly cause you to die early. And here's another example. If you have good relationships with others, you can actually stay in contact. Maybe when you have you don't suffer this because you feel that you're still positive. But if you don't suffer physically, you will also feel emotionally and mentally hurt as well. So this is a sign for everyone to start relationships with others. Then what can we learn from all of this? In fact, you don't need to be rich. don't need to be successful just to feel like you really have happy, a good life. What you need is just simply connection, others. But remember, it's not about the amount of relationships you have, because it doesn't matter if you know 1 million people on earth. But what matters most is if you have one person you rely on them. So from now on, rather than asking yourself, am I rich enough? Am I successful enough? It's time to ask yourself, who do I have inside me? And perhaps you should start only investing in your assets, but also invest in people. Because at the end of the day, good relationship keeps us happier and healthier. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for your wonderful speech. Now let's give our judges to give feedback. Our judge, Miss Boy.
So, Harry, what a speech, good life. Okay, everyone wants to have a good life. So this topic is applicable to everyone around here. And then what I like from your performance is the first thing I like how you handle the mic problem. You don't make it obvious, you don't feel disturbed by it, but you're still continuing smoothly, even you're still showing us the good vocal dynamic that you show, even though it's not helped by the mic itself. And when you share a fun fact, you make a pause that makes us more engaged once that. So your vocal dynamics really help you to make this presentation smooth. And I like the way you handle your slides. It's really smooth and you don't even reading one by one, so you only switch and then you just talk about it right on time. And I also like the opening and the closing. I think why speech is more memorable because you have the good opening and the good closing. I think you have the both, which makes it more interesting to listen to. And then the thing that you can picture is you have too much movement on the stage, right? Try to control it a little bit more and try to make your movement intentional, especially your stage movement. So it will be more impactful when you see one side, you move to one side to another. So that's how you handle it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Molly. I believe the future will be very useful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again give a round of applause for Karen. Please go back to your seat and remember to ring the bell. That was amazing. Let's have 1 minute of silence.
Our ninth speaker today is someone from the class of 20. He is bringing the topic of mental health awareness. Let's Welcome, Sergo Garcia.
So here's the cables behind you. Yes.
Sergio Garcia, mental health awareness, mental health awareness. Sergio Garcia, the time limit is 5 minutes. Good luck.
Did you know that there is something that affects all of us, but is rarely taken over? It is mental how you feel and how to cope with life's ups and downs. Just like physical health, all of us has mental health, and all of us need to take care of mental health. So basically, as nowadays teenagers, one of the biggest influences to mental health is social media. Did you know that 95% of teenagers nowadays use social media? That connects us, train us, and help us express ourselves. But it also affects us in ways that we don't always realize. So let's talk about the effects. One of the effects is cyberbullying. People, unlike traditional bullying, won't stop when you go home. Cyberbullying will because messages, harmful content, and apps could just go online and bully you. Because studies also show that teenagers nowadays have been exposed to a lot of negative and hateful content. The next effect is social comparison. The effect where you scroll through your social media and you will see through that people who think about their best moments, their achievements, and their perfect bodies. You think that I'm not as good as them, I should be like them, and I didn't even touch a percent of the success. And university studies show that teenagers nowadays feel a lower image of their body because of this type of content. Then third, there's also dopamine loop. Dopamine loop not make something relaxing. It could also ruin you because every likes, every comment, and every followers will give your brain a self-reward. That self-reward keep coming back for more, effectively putting some addictive behavior. And then the next one is really your focus. You could scroll through making you having an insufficient amount of friends. It could ruin your day by ruining the mood, having you less concentrated because you just keep thinking of sleeping. And then it also ruins your connection because you couldn't focus on your real life. Learn all of that might sound overwhelming, but there is always way to control that and handle with a good mental health. The first one is set awareness. People build awareness by seeing
especially if a social media is inspiring you, knowing this could keep you in a normal way. Next up is setting healthy habits by limiting screen time, reducing phones more bed, and also taking break before every phone sessions because every small action gives a big difference. And then next up is educate on cyberbullying. You could do that by reporting the account as responsible for this type of bullying and even reporting it to the developer. Because remember, in the end of the day, your story matter, your mental health matter, and you matters. And remember, you are perfect just the way you are. Thank you.
Now let's have one of our participants give feedback. Let's welcome Miss Lisa.
Hola, hola, Sergio Sergio. Sergio Sergio, maybe this is also questions. The slide that you made is you are the one that make it or how? Wow, your using one application is Canva. Canva. Someone that teach you or supporting you to make this? Okay, let's help you to make this one. Okay, this one is Pro Canva or just a common Canva. Oh, okay, no wonder. Okay, this is the way that how you can maximize the facility in the school. Okay, everyone, do you agree if the slide is really attractive now? Yes, if yes, how do you think it's round of applause? Because as a surgeon, like all you need to go to the Lieutenant Colonel, one of the things you need to deliver speech with the slide. Someday, when you become adults like us, when you deliver speech, the slide matters. So slide is also can support what you are going to say. Do you know this one? Last words, big pictures. This is a good point already. And the color is also one tone. And I also pay attention to all the phone. This one is a very good achievement. So next time, remember when you would like to make a slide, there is not more words, like this is one of the good points. Now I will focus on how the way you deliver it. Okay? Try to go on to last slide, please, miss. Last slide. Okay? Just now you mentioned this. No, back. Okay, try help Miss Lisa. Try to read this. Your mental health matters. Try.
Mental health matters, story matters.
Okay. You know, Sergio, I really love the content. Okay, especially when you mentioned when this. You remember you are perfect just the way you are. As a speaker, if the prompts support us, the delivery still you are the star. You have to remember this. Who are the star? You. So how to make sure you being the star when you delivery? The vocal dynamics. Now you may mention to what this one. Just like you mentioned, how do you think you mentioned when you guys need to seek help? You see the difference? Okay? When you guys need to seek help. And then you also said you can educate yourself, you can do it reporting to the developer you mentioned, right? You can do the report to developer. You see the difference, you can do the report to developer. Which one is better? The first or the second? Which one is better? The first. You see the difference? Okay. Now I challenge you to do the closings together. So ladies and gentlemen, remember, your mental health matters. Your story matters. You matters. Remember, you are perfect, just the way you are. Try it one more time. with your vocal dynamics. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your mental health matters, your story matters, you matters. Because in the end of the day, remember that you're perfect just the way you are.
Okay, you see? Then you have to use your vocal dynamics. Only progress, Lisa. Well done. See you on the next listening. For way to listen to things that you.
Thank you very much. I believe the feedback will be very useful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again give a round of applause for Sergio. Please go back to your seat and remember to ring the bell. Let's have one.
You want me to challenge you one thing? You're taking the same one. Try to look at us. Okay.
Our 10th speaker is someone from the class of Gandhi. She is bringing a topic about asking for help. Let's welcome Gracelyn. Yeah.
Alright everyone, get ready and mark your calendars. Our next real stage will be on May 24th. Let's welcome Gracelyn Young. Gracelyn Young asking for help, Gracelyn Young. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. Good luck.
Have you ever sat in class, listening to the teacher, but you actually have no clue what to say? And instead of asking for help, you just sit silently because you're too afraid. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. What do you do when you are struggling? Do you ask for help or do you stay silent? I used to be that person that stayed silent. So here's a little backstory. Back in primary six, I was so good at science, and my whole class did it. I never asked for help because I already understood. And moving on to secondary one. As the lessons became harder, it also became harder for me to understand. And I, who was previously amazed by science, started to find it a little bit hard. And I couldn't understand some of the parts. At first, I thought, it's okay. I ignored it and I thought I could eventually understand it. But as time went on, it just became worse and I still couldn't understand that part. So one day, as I was sitting in class, I thought, why not ask for help? I was about to raise my hand Then suddenly a thought came in my mind. It said, what if they see that you are no longer good at science? That thought made me pause. I thought, as a person with a big ego, I couldn't possibly have people thinking that I'm weak, right? So I decided to not ask for help. A few days later, my teacher announced that there would be a quiz this week. And I, as a person that had not understood that material, I started to panic. Then I thought again about asking for help. I was about to raise my hand again when once again that same thought came in my mind. What is it that you are no longer good? Again, once again, that thought made me pause. This time I knew my choice was either to ask or to fail. And I wasn't failing today. So I decided to ask. It wasn't easy at all. I was just trying to decide when I should raise my hand. And at one moment, I just did it and asked the question I had finally wanted to ask. Surprisingly, no one judged. My teacher just answered me casually, and some of my friends even offered to explain that lesson. That day, I went home really for the first time, as I had finally understood that part. And I also learned an important lesson that day. It's okay to ask for help, because it's something that we all need. Sometimes we tend to pretend that everything is fine on the outside, but the reality is that we are struggling on the inside, and we are refusing to seek help. So we seek help and to ask for it is an important thing. When we ask for help, we can discover that there are actually a lot of people that are ready to help us, but just we need it. Most of the times, people avoid asking for help. Why? Because they think that it's a sign of being weak, a sign of being not good, and a sign that you've given up. But let me tell you a secret. Asking for help is a greatest you can do, and it takes a lot of courage. Just like me and my science lesson, it was not easy at all. I hesitated a lot, to be honest. I had to wait for a very long time. But once I did it, I felt very relieved. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember that asking for help is not a sign of being weak. It's not a sign of that you're not good. It's not a sign that you're giving up. It is a sign that you're refusing to give up and refusing to want to learn. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you feel like you're struggling and you cannot do it, remember this. You don't have to face it alone because there are a lot of us to help. And even if everything looks fine on the outside, it's okay sometimes to not be okay. So I want all of you here from today to choose to be honest, choose to speak up, and choose to ask for help when needed. Because asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you want to grow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I, Grace Lin, have already done. Now, it's your turn.
I can bring it to that. Now, let's call one of our judges here to give feedback. Let's welcome our judge, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa Zhang. Listen, now we know
I'm sorry. You may say something.
Now we would like to call General Evan to come to the stage and give the evaluation as the objective.
give it up for Gracelyn Young. The speech that you bring, your articulation was amazing. You know, in a public speaking mode, if a speaker was able to articulate their words in a perfect manner and smoothly, it can actually alter someone's feelings and mind. For example, a couple months ago, I have a friend. He was in school, but he wants to be better. He came to me and asked me, Aaron, how do you do research? I told him, brother, just do it. Eat more. When you eat, you feel relief. You feel more relaxed. And when you're relaxed, you are able to study easier. The month after, he became fat. But his scores didn't improve. You know, because what I told him is fake. But the word that came out of his mouth was so perfectly articulated that it countered his belief. So he began eating alone. See, this is the power of articulation and power. That is the thing that you brought to this good thing. The topic that you bring is also very, very big. I really enjoyed every because I feel like this is the speech for most teenagers. And your body gestures was amazing. The moment that you said that, the thought came into my mind. You said, yes, the thought came into my mind. This body gesture really what you meant, which is very perfect for the audience to also understand what you are trying to say. Just one thing for your speech and the lecture, I suggest you to move to the center. Because I noticed that you were standing a little back. That's it. Overall, you did amazing. And good luck in your little general speeches. Thank you.
That was amazing. And now we'll focus on love back to the stage. And now, let's have one of the judges to give here the feedback. Let's welcome Miss Molly.
Thank you. Very good. I think you remember to see how many times, how many weeks you need to prepare this speech for?
1 week.
1 week? Oh, okay. The thing that I like from your speech is you have impressive vocal dynamics, which makes your speech either convincing, it sounds convincing enough because you have a good vocal dynamic, and you have a good hand gesture and also stage movement. You see, you give us your story and then you move a bit and then you state your point and then you move a bit again. It makes us really get what you mean. And also, I like the way you put your question with a lot of pressure there to make us realize and us. I like the closing that give us hope to help the audience what you expect for the audience to do after they get the speech from you, right? And then the thing that you have to improve in the future when your speech gets better is just like Aaron said, you start to do back. Because when you want to convince someone, you convince them that you need to do this, right? And the sign of urgency. So next time when we bring this kind of speech, the persuasive one, try to stand a bit more closer to the audience.
Thank you very much, Ms. Moody. I believe the feedback was very useful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed and ring the bell. That was easy. Let's have 1 minute of silence.
Okay.
Now, let's call everyone to come up to the stage and receive feedback. You will be receiving feedback from this morning.
Well done, Eric. So I saw you doing this. Thank you for doing this challenge again, which is nice to do, right? And I like the way it sounds more warm this time. And you are more confident, right? Well, and then I love the way you give evaluation while giving the example. You show us how, and I think it's very helpful for the speakers. And then, besides of that, it's not only the evaluation that you give. When you share your own story, when you share your own opinion, it makes us really know that you are really listening to the speaker. What they say and how they relate to you. And I like the way you explain it. And the thing that we can share is when you show them how to do, like create analysis now, like yeah, do it like you can make it more color and give them the reason why also, why it needs to be done like that. And by doing that, they will make it more intentional. There is a reason why they need to do that. And the thing that you mentioned is really helpful with the cost and the reason why they need to do it. So it becomes more intentional to do it. That's it for me, but
Okay, learn from me that thank you for taking the challenge. That I really want what this movie mentions. Well done, everyone. See you on the last finish, okay?
It's okay. Oh.
Our last speaker is someone from the class of Spielberg. He is bringing a topic about the empty chair. Let's welcome Alvaro Licitios. Alvaro Licitios, the empty chair, Alvaro Licitios. Your 5 minutes. 15 minutes. Okay. This is yours.
Last month, I went to Singapore with a friend to watch a drum performance. And no matter where we went, whether it's the MRT or even the waiting area, there will always be one thing in common. An empty chair. Well, for two young travelers, seeing an empty chair at a public place is a blessing. Because all you need to do is just approach the empty chair and have a seat. But the moment you look up and you just see your surroundings, you realize something. That countless of people are literally staring at the same exact seat. At that moment, that blessing turned into a decision. Should I take this seat? Or should I just give it to someone else? Well, as two foreigners stepping his foot at a foreign country, me and my friend did the most reasonable thing that will benefit both of us the most. Auntie, uncle, never mind. Never mind, we'll just find somewhere else. For now, yeah, just prioritize ourselves first. That was at the food court. How about the MRT? Oh, auntie, uncle, never mind. Just take a seat. You know, we are still young. We have really strong legs. So for now, yeah, just take a seat. It's also likely at the same time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for a moment, this action right here seems like good manners. Basically, a really great application of MNSML. But, ladies and gentlemen, when you have to stay at the MRT for 2 hours straight, or when it's lunchtime and you're extremely hungry, maybe finding a seat for yourself is the best thing you should do. Maybe the problem here isn't about manners, but the problem here is that sometimes we give away these seats because we're so used on believing that we don't deserve one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the more I think about it, the more I realize that this didn't only happen in Singapore. In fact, I've been encountering empty chairs all my life. I remember vividly it happened last year during my biology class. We were all preparing for our semester's exam, but out of nowhere, my biology teacher was in a really good mood. That was fair. So, she decided to give 10 extra scores for the students who can answer her questions correctly. Well, I'll follow. How many questions did she give? Well, ladies and gentlemen, not one, not two, but 5 questions for 5 lucky students. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at that moment, 5 empty chairs were spread all across the classroom. And in a classroom that consists of 36 students, I believe that some of you guys might expect all 36 hands to just go up high to the sky. But that did not happen. In fact, the class became strangely quiet. Some students continue reading their books, some avoided eye contact, and some even continue minding their business. Even I didn't raise up my hand. Deep down, I was thinking, what if I get it wrong? Or what if someone knows the answer? Me. Those 2 thoughts alone made me refuse to raise my hand. I ended up seated at the classroom. Then, one by one, a few brave students started raising their hands. they started answering the question. Well, at the same time, these 5 empty chairs were started to be occupied. It all started with the first question. The second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. At the end of the day, these 5 empty chairs were now fully occupied. Other students ended up getting their grades raised, and I wasn't one. Well, at first, I thought it wouldn't be a problem at all. Missing out on this empty chair won't ruin my future, because all I need to do is just get a really high score on my biology exam, and everything will go. Maybe the 90 will be enough, and that's all. Case closed. But ladies and gentlemen, it didn't age well, because I only ended up with an 81 on my semester exam. Well, if some of you guys ask my parents or my uncles or any family of mine, they will just say that an 81 is not a bad score. Well, you think 81 is a bad score, ladies and gentlemen. But when you're in senior high school, where your grades basically determine on what university you're going to attend, maybe an 81 is enough. At that moment, I kept on thinking, what if I had just answered that question like that? My score would just be a 91, and I'll just get what I wanted. I finally get that grade boost that I wanted or really wanted. It will be a future. All of these thoughts are mine, and the only being what is and a decision that I soon regret. The more I thought about that situation that day, the more something started to bother me. Because that empty chair in the classroom felt so familiar. Because just last month, while I was in Singapore, I was encountering the same thing over and over again. I was encountered with a lot of empty chairs, whether it's in the MRT, or in the food court, or even in the waiting area. I will always see an empty chair. And ladies and gentlemen, what did I do? I did this thing over and over again. I step aside, look out, and find someone who deserves it more than me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, maybe the main problem here isn't about manners, but instead, the main problem here is that we're so used on standing up that we forgot to realize that we're also allowed to sit down. So, after experiencing that moment, something struck into me. I then kept on thinking, what if, instead of letting other people sit on the empty seat, what if, instead of taking other people who deserve it all, what if, instead of finding people who deserve opportunity more than me, what if I take that opportunity? Ladies and gentlemen, that realization that hits me. So, fortunately, I encountered another empty chair in my life. But, ladies and gentlemen, this time, it didn't happen in Singapore or in my biology class. But instead, it happened in my math class. So, just a few days after the trip in Singapore, I came back to Medan to continue my studies. So, it was also very near the midterm exam. So, my math teacher was explaining some questions on board and also some questions. And she asked for some volunteers from the students. And just like usual, the class became strangely quiet. Everyone continues on their business. At the same time, all of these thoughts just gathers around again. What if I answer it incorrectly? Or what if someone knows the answer better than me? But, ladies and gentlemen, I remember these teachers again. So I told something different to myself. Instead of staying seated like before and not taking the empty chair, I chose to stood up and try solving all the problems. And surprisingly, I got it correct. So, ladies and gentlemen, that moment, not only I had credit for my math exam, but I also had something way more valuable. I started understanding the lesson better. So, during the exams, instead of feeling with doubt, I was with peace. Even I said in my mind, maybe I had a great spot with this. And that confidence alone gave me the score that I am truly proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, I ended up with a 90 on my major exam. Now, although it's not 100, but ladies and gentlemen, at least it done the job properly. That 90 ended up being a boost on my report. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's actually all possible because I finally chose to take the NTC. I finally chose to take the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, at some point of our lives, we will encounter a lot of empty chairs. But sometimes it makes us wonder, what if this empty chair isn't for me? Or what if someone deserves it more than me? We've ended up in a cycle of rejecting the empty chairs and finding someone who deserves it more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, maybe these empty chairs isn't destined for someone else. Instead, these empty chairs are actually destined for you guys, for all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, try taking the empty seat. Instead of looking around finding someone who deserves it more, try taking it for yourself. Then one day, I encountered an empty chair just near around me. Instead of offering it to someone, I will approach that chair, position myself properly, and finally take a seat. Since this empty chair right here belongs to me.
Wow, thank you for your amazing and wonderful speech. Now, let's have one of our judges here to give feedback. Let's welcome our judge, Miss Lisa.
All right, thank you, Victoria. Okay, well, before I give some evaluations, I would like to okay? Okay. Just deliver his last speeches is inspiring speech. I'm just going to check. How many of you in here said you will inspire and you will take the empty chair when the next time in your life you see the empty chair? If yes, raise up your hand. Okay, well, and then you will pass. Give round of applause to Alvaro. Alvaro today deliver your speech. I'm so happy listening to your speech. It's coming back to see you when you're still primary school, and then now you graduate to a professional one, and see you that you finish. And I think this is not only the last speech that I listened. Maybe this is the last speech that I listened when you have the big stage. But I'm going to listen later on your graduation speech again, right? So I don't say this is the last speech. I'm so happy that you are you okay with this? Okay, please. Yeah. And then I give it to no one else. Okay. Yes, that's. Okay. Alvaro, just now I checked with the audiences because in general you got two choices. The word can be or very hard. So far, most in general, or training. Because it's not an easy way to keep inspiring talk with a very long times. We just afraid that the audiences can feel bored. But luckily, then you can make people feel with emotions. When you feel happy, you feel sad. This is the thing that I like the most. You try to use some of the vocal melodies, so to try to get the audience attention, like you say tones from beginning until ending. And the storytelling to prove that the empty chair is not only about one side only, you give some story that is typical and the biological class. And you end up it finally something with the empty chair in your math class. I think this is a very one way to do storytelling. And audience will move when I ask them they raise up their hands. Like when on this, you also make a very clear call to actions, which when you ask them the empty chair, take this valid and you just look around. I think this is a very clear what to do. But like usual, even the best can be better. We still need the room to improve. Otherwise, maybe next time you got a chance to go to speech in the school or any places that we can inspire more youngsters. What Miss Lisa is wish to see your next teacher is you bring about the empty chair. Actually, you can work together with our team. When you would like to deliver the speech, your chair you can put it inside. It's not a must of your chair. You can close it. Because the audiences that will feel a more curiosity rather than the empty chair you stand in front of them. For example, after that you close it with the clothes and then you just said, oh, this is empty chair. I think it's more like one moment. You know why? Sometimes taking to 10 minutes, like you need to take the one moment of usually like, wow, what is he is going to find it. Okay? Because in the beginning, because the application of mind you, I'm just thinking, I will still can do something. This is maybe another thing you can do. Second is try to clarify the empty chair meanings you want to say. Okay? Because in the beginning, I'm keep waiting the empty chair in the beginning in my mind is to show the manners. And then in the biological, then you mentioned, oh, I know I got the point about the opportunity. Okay, maybe you need to clarify about what is actually here. It is opportunity. I got the opportunity when I saw the empty chair and I'm out of solutions. I got the opportunity when my biological teacher took classes extra credits for credit scores to answer the questions. I got more and more empty chair. Which is an identity. So you go to identity is what? You want to clarify it. Okay? Last but not least, try to bridging the words to words and keep using attention to a general level now. Try to use another words. Okay? Because you're mentioning ladies and gentlemen, I think 12 times in one words. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, bridging words. So also I can try to find that word that related. You know, so that is a whole choice of another words, not only ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's all from Miss Lisa. These 3 points. I wish to meet you on the graduation. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you. See you from primary and now you finish. You hope these skills can support your daily life. Welcome. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lisa. I believe the feedback was very useful.
That was it.
Let's have 1 minute of silence.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you feeling that the real estate? The real estate is finally over. I'm sure all of you are relieved because I am too. Well, despite the nervousness just now, all of you doing marketing.
So congratulations to all participants of Middle Stage of today. Now, before we invite all participants to the stage and we would like to invite Raul to announce a special
Miss Aura. Please welcome. Please welcome.
to announce a special award.
Please welcome.
Let us welcome Miss Ola.
Miss.
Selamat siang kepada teman semuanya.
Selamat siang, Miss.
Perkenalkan saya dengan Christina Aurel. Trikura. Ini kita sudah melakukan apa yang adalah real estate. Sebelumnya, mari kita berikan tepuk tangan yang luar biasa kepada peserta hari ini. Kita pada nama ada yang real estate adalah kejutan yang dilakukan secara reguler dan sebenarnya untuk memastikan setiap anak-anak mengalami perubahan. Saat ini, real estate sekarang sudah dilakukan dan sudah selesai dan saya akan namanya untuk sesi pemberian sertifikat berhenti.
Cuma aja.
Setelah melaksanakan real estate, anak-anak akan mendapatkan apa? Yang pertama adalah ada yang masih terskip atau tidak mengetahui hal. Pada saat kita mendaftarkan, kita sudah memberikan yang namanya lingkup. Lingkup itu seperti apa? Kemudian bisa melingkup tersebut. Ada yang memiliki report, ada juga memiliki presentation progress. Diberikan kepada setiap kampus juga telah menyelesaikan kelas. Dan terakhir kita akan ada namanya job transparency. Pertemuan antara orang tua dengan guru. Mungkin kalau ngobrol dengan namanya konsul itu adalah wali kelas. Tapi pada saat ini kita akan bercoba lakukan trailer yang bisa di kelas. Dilakukan itu seperti 4 bulan. Karena kita sangat mengharapkan ya Bapak dan Bapak bisa menghadiri yang tersebut. Kenapa? Bisa langsung mengetahui progres dengan guru yang mengajar dalam kelas. Dan setelah melaksanakan real estate, akan mendapatkan apa saja? Yang pertama akan mendapatkan sertifikat dan fit kenaikan level yang mendapatkan di sisi terakhir. Yang kedua ada akan mendapatkan report real estate dan akan diberikan oleh tim training dengan 47 hari kerja. Dan selanjutnya itu adalah level. Level itu memiliki 6 level yang dimana pada saat ini anak-anak ada berbagai level dari private dari kolonel, yang general, juga. Kalau mama juga anak tersebut yang sudah project dan anak level saat ini kita ada kabar gembira. Kalau apa saja dalam buku, jadi kalau bisa membeli dengan harga totalnya adalah 1.000. Terus pembelian KTP apa dan mama akan mendapatkan diskon sebesar 100.000 khusus hari ini saja. Di mana menjadi 600.000. Apa dan mama nanti akan saya bantu di bawah pembayaran. Selanjutnya adalah pembaharuan belum biasa. Yang seperti sudah kita lakukan ya Papa Mama, sosialisasi yang bisa juga, yang mana ada pembaharuan kurikulum yang pertama adalah di apprentice. Untuk saat ini dipersangkakan dari kalau ada apprentice itu adalah satu-satu sampai 6 SD dan yang kedua nih Oriental Society yaitu adalah SMP dan SMA. Dan lupa juga adalah program untuk dewasa adalah speaking arena. Ini adalah dilakukan untuk program unggulan program speaking kita yang ada anak kuliah, adalah orang dewasa. Kita boleh bangun juga bisa bergabung. Bukan hanya anak-anak yang untuk speaking, tapi orang tua juga bisa bergabung. Ada juga yang namanya tutorial training adalah dari perusahaan dan kami sering workshop dilakukan 1 hari dan private tutorial di mana membutuhkan 1 ekspert dan keluarga luar. Dan tidak lupa juga kami ada namanya program referral. Apa itu referral? Referral adalah program mengajar. Jadi siapapun itu mana keluarga, kerabat, atau siapapun papa dan mama akan mendapatkan diskon 32%. Jadi ketika papa mengajar, dapat diskon dulu, teman yang diajak pulang mendapatkan diskon 32%. Jadi papa dan mama mau mendapatkan masing-masing. Caranya sangat gampang. Untuk saat registrasi bisa memasukkan kode referral yang tidak kita lakukan. Mungkin itu saja informasi yang kami bisa sampaikan dari customer service. Kalau ada mau ada pertanyaan, jangan lupa untuk menghubungi. Apa yang disebut dari Koi dan kemudian kekuasaan. Terima kasih dan ada saya Aura lebih jawab dari itu. Terima kasih.
Please give a round of applause to Miss Aura.
Thank you, Ms. Auro. Now, we will welcome Ms. Lisa to come to the stage and present certificate and the gift. Now, we would like all the participants to come up to the stage, taking turns. If you hear your name being called, please go up to the stage to receive the certificate and the gift.
Certificate. Should I have? Yes.
And Sohina Naika.
Surgeon Era Sohina Naya.
Wait, one minute. Victoria. Okay. Wait, Victoria. Again, wait until they are taking a picture. Okay, and then continue to the next speaker.
Harold Shaw. Welmi Potan. Harold Welmi Potan. Surgeon Daniela Pimentiva. Sergeant Devon Dow. Sergeant Gracia Dimani Santo. Sergeant Joseph Sidney.
Miss Muling, Jocelyn, rambutnya Miss. Rambut Jocelyn, Miss. Di kanan itu ada kertas, di kanan ada kertas. Ah, itu. Sorry Jocelyn.
Sergeant Down, sit. Now, let's vote on this movie. So, let's vote on this movie. This is the photo of Karen Justicia. This is the photo of Sergio Garcia. This is General Baseline Young.
Okay, now I think I'm going to do the section together because we get along with you. If you think you can be now, you can probably help me flow. So I can go. Okay. Squeeze your body, squeeze and see, and indicate on the element of the yes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Miss, can you help me through the? Yeah. Okay. 2, 3.
One time. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, MC, you may join in. MC here. Satu sini. Yes.
Yes, this one. Thank you. Okay, smile. 1, 2, 3. One more time, guys. 1, 2. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. I don't see you.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, guys. Laughing with this one. Sorry, Daniela, our photographer. MC, how good you said that? Everyone? Everyone what you say? Thank you. I love you. And give a round of applause. Yes. Yeah, go. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Making you better you. And then give
As loud as possible, yeah. 1, 2.
MC, yeah.
As someone
Making you better you.